Hi, my name is Emma Shen, and I'm a master's in public health student. Today, I am with Mandy, and she will introduce herself.
Hi, hello all. I'm Mandy Tam. I'm from China, Hong Kong, and right now this year is quite special to me because I'm a principal in a special school. But before, I'm working with the students with special needs for more than I think it's 23 years. Yeah.
And that's great. So, how did you first get involved in the neurodivergent community?
I think this term is a really positive term to students with SEN. Before, when I worked in physically handicapped school, and those students they really have some illness or with brain damage. For example, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and they do have some students with ADHD or hyperactive. But for my view, for more than 20 years, to deal with the students with brain damage, they deal with some medical treatment, maybe medicine or some operation treatment. But mostly they have some physical training exercise or behavioral modifications. So when I come to this new school, right now my school is a mentally handicapped school. The range is a mild grade to moderate grade. For me, I see the student is not taking medicine, but you have to deal with the behavioral modification. For example, how to train the technique to communicate with others, or how you to modify the learning objective to modify the learning objective, the teaching material, and then the assessments, etc. So for that neurodiversity, for the past, maybe we look at the student is they are not up to some standards. So they are mentally handicapped, something like that. But right now, the term is really a positive term to me, is diversity. Diversity means everyone is different. They are unique. For the past few years, I work with my students. They have physically handicapped, but they really have talents to start their career. There is a student, he has 肌肉萎縮症, muscular dystrophy, and he only got the head to point the computer to work, only have 10 fingers to move the mouse to work on the computer, but he can draw, he can use the IT technologies to create 4 storybooks. Every book he can the shop sell the books, and then we have some sharing, and we went to different schools to share his story, and it's very challenging that he is really a very dependent person. Every daily issue he has to dependent on his parents or on the staff in the special school. But I think there's only some limitation to his mobility, but he got a lot of creativity in his mind. That's why I think the educators need to remove or replace all his limitation, and then he can start what he can do. For right now, I see neurodiversity is the same. It's not a kind of sickness. You cannot give medicine and then, oh, he can recover. In other way, we see is how we treat them in a healthy way, in another sense. Oh, I understand why he got or she got some behavior very quite special. But if you understand how or why he will act like this, and then you will, oh, okay, I know how to communicate with this these people. For example, for students with ASD, I have some autism students in my school. If you know, because I call it, you tune his channel, you can understand how he feel or what he want to do or what he want to express. But he has some special schedule in his mind. And then I think this a mutual understanding or a mutual communication between the educator and the students. And on the other side, the student need to learn how to communicate with the community or communicate with people, because there are so many changes in the society that he need to cope with. So I think the school setting need to start both directions. And right now, I will do more is about the public education. If the public, if the school train up the student with a good standard, but the society do not understand, he will face a lot of social, I think it's just social problem, yeah, because other people do not understand them. So I think if the public understand or know more about, oh, this person, he got some special behavior, maybe he cannot control, but he can have more empathy or more acceptable to the neurodiversity group. If in my view, if the neurodiversity group do not interfere the public, he can have his own learning living style, because, for example, he like music. He can make music, he can enjoy his music in his way, but he had to consider whether the music, the voice level will not interfere others as well. That I think that is the point I want to bring out, is both sides need to have compromise.
Compromise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like both sides seeing each other.
Yeah.
And okay. Do you want to go to the next question?
I want to share a story why I think neurodiversity is quite different from the idea or the concept in my past working experience.
Okay.
And I remember I do have a student today. He has ADHD and dyslexia, and then his parents took him to see the doctor, and that he took the medicine for a few years, and then after a few years, he got a lump in his blood vessel, blood vessels in the brain, and then he need to do operation. But after the operation, it affects his mobility has some damage. He has a left-hand side body do not walk very smoothly, and his parents did blame the doctor and blame the medicine. And when he changed to my previous school, he did not take any medicine anymore. But I think for example, he focused a lot is what the learning strategy helped him to change his, for example, the focus, or how he to read the words, or how to practice the Chinese words with the, because he has the dyslexia problem. So I think somehow this kind of sickness, or is not I cannot call a sickness, because they do not deal with medicine. Maybe deal with a lot of behavioral treatment, modification, some learning strategies, some how to teach them to self-control, how to teach them to focus or attention, focus something. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what the concept in the past and right now is really different. Yeah.
So it's a lot of it. I know in psychology they have applied behavioral analysis. So it's like studying the behavior of a person. And there's a baseline, right? What is the behavior at the beginning? And then it's training the person to build, like, if they want a more positive behavior, there's a reward, you know, versus like if they don't want the behavior to happen again, they might take away something to make the person not do the behavior. I don't know. Is it similar to that concept? Or
For example, for the student with ASD, with the autism, they have a special schedule in his mind. If you change the schedule, he will feel very uneasy, or feel unrest.
like
Yeah.
anxious?
Yeah, nervous. Yeah, very nervous. And then maybe they will have, for the student, they have 6 years or something, they cannot express, and then they will cry, and then I have to stick to some kinds of behavior. But if you try if the teacher tried to ease the emotion and explain, or if to do some for example, before the planning start, and then you can tell him before, okay, 2 days later we will have the fire drill. The fire drill will something like that. Something like you have to line up, and then hear the bell, and then line up, and then we will go outside the school, and with the picture, with the video, something, and then a few days practice when really happen, and then he will fall into what you plan for him to do. That's the kind I would say this is a kind of behavioral modification, and how you tell him before, and then he will have loading his schedule with your idea, or your planning, and then he will adapt a few days, and then he will happen. And that's why, if that's not the medicine can deal with this, you have, because it's a kind of cognitive understanding. I think it's a kind of understanding how he encounter and how he react. If you give him time, or give him a planning, he will work up his schedule on his own. And so I think neurodiversity group is, we need to understand how they have some special or some unique behavior, and then we tried to pair up the word. And afterward, you may limit days to tell him before. For example, the student need 1 week to reschedule. Next time, maybe 5 days, gradually with 2 days, 1 day. And I think this is a kind of adaptation for the neurodiversity group to understand. And then I think is how you give the chance for them to learn is really important to them. Yeah.
Um, so the next question is what inspired you to become the principal of a special education school in Hong Kong?
Mm, yeah, um, it's a really interesting question. I really like to be a teacher. I really like to encounter with students, and I like lesson study. Lesson study is I need I used to have a group of teachers, and then we will do lesson study. And what how if we find out this learning strategies is quite uh, really interesting, and then we will plan to implement in our lessons. Maybe these are 2 years or 3 years work for us to see the changes. Afterward, in the past 5 years, I I work in I work from the EDB, our education department. I I work into EDB's department to as a secondary teacher. A secondary teacher is I will pair up with different special school settings, and then I visit the school and then to talk with the teachers, and then we start some project in lesson study. So I think those years what make me find that as if I want to imply my the view of uh, how to right now I'm doing the learning diversity in our school. Yeah, learning diverse learning diversities means every student they have different learning styles. How you implement, how the teachers to tackle different kinds of diversities in your class, and then how you modify your teaching strategies and your learning material as well. And so I started to work for a few years, and then I think if I have a team in a school, that will be a long run work for me, and then I can do whatever, some learning strategies, different kinds of, for example, right now, we will want to do design thinking, we will want to do self-directed learning. Those different learning strategies, lesson study, I can implement it in our school. And that's why I and for the and at that moment, this school is a brand new special school. It's a really a brand new one, and it only started in September 2021. And I think, it's a really a great chance to me, because a brand new school, you don't have any historical culture, because if if a very if the school with many years, maybe you have to take a few years to understand, to know their traditional ideas or the concept, something. But right now, a brand new school, you can put a lot of creative ideas to your school team. And so I think this is the chance for me is to implement uh, my view to special education in Hong Kong.
That's cool. Um, and so, how do you ensure that each student's needs are uniquely met?
Mm, for example, I right now to start in this new school, all the teachers are all new to me. So I think to share my mission and my vision to my teammates is really important to me and important to them, because we have to have the same goal. The same goal is to respect the difference. Right now, my school is respect the difference. How you see the students is all are different. And so if you respect the difference, and then when you enter into the classroom, you say, oh, every students, they are different. So I teach them, okay, I will put an eye on, oh, okay, what and how he react, and then I will have some different, or we will have different ideas or different strategy to teach him or teach her. And that is the main idea, the respect the difference, diversity is my main point to my school team. Yeah. And other words, in the second thing is assign a team, assign a small team to focus on how to teach. For example, the whole school curriculum, and then the pedagogy, and then their assessment material. We focus with assign a team to focus on how to implement, and then they will lead the whole school, the teachers, how to do on this way. Go on the direction accurately is very important. And the third is setting goals, planning, and evaluation. Because when you start a new project or when you start a new idea, okay, you have to plan what you are going to do, what the team will do, and then how to implement. And then when after a certain time, you have to evaluate what you plan. Does it meet the goals? And the evaluation should include the students' learning outcome, because when you plan, the aims for that is for the students. So you have to look into the results. Is it really the result that you plan is for the student? They learn effectively or they change. Yeah. So this is the third thing, and the fourth is regular sharings is really important, because the small team do maybe the team assign the Chinese subject panel to start the new strategies, or the math team. But the other subjects may not be started at the same time. Maybe they are start afterward. So sharing is every time, in a regular sharing is between the sharing from the Chinese subject panel team or the math subject matter panel team, and the rest of the teams will learn. Oh, okay, the Chinese team, they start something like that, and then they can see the outcome of. You will give a positive motivation to the others to follow what the policy will do. Yeah.
Okay, so like in total, how many students are in the entire special needs school?
You mean how many students in my school? Right now, the first year I have six class. I have 53 students. 53, yeah. But next year I have 7 classes, and I will have almost 80 students. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And half of them they are autism. That they are diagnosed with autism. But I think autism is a kind of the degree. Some students, they have strong levels in autism. Yeah. But some, I think is really a mild one. They do not, they still can, they communicate well, but they have some special schedule that stick to some special schedule, but they can change. Yeah, and they only have a short time they only use a short time to change. For right now, my school, we will start a theme day every month, a theme day. Theme day, for example, pajama days, something like that. MTR day or occupation day, because for the student they have autism, they cannot change the schedule. If the whole day will be a theme day, they have activity, outside activity, indoor activity, and then they need to have group sharing, and they change their learning class, change their learning place, change the teachers, and they have to accept a lot of changes. And I think I told my colleagues told me that Principal Tam, if we change a law, I think they will have a lot of unrest or serious or anxious or something. And I say, if the school do not provide that kind of opportunity to face the changes when they graduation to the society, they will face a lot of changes without any guidance. But in a school setting, you have a safe area, and then you provide different kinds of opportunity for them to face, and then you can provide the solution for them to learn. I think that's why that's what I want to use the theme day to to put it in our calendar. Right now, one year I can see the result is the student really can adapt different kinds of the schedule changes, and then they will. You can see some ASD students they shorten the time to adapt the activities. I think it's really very interesting and very effective for our students from their P1, and they can learn different or to encounter different changes. And then I think this how to facilitate he can face different changes when he grows up. Yeah.
And does each student, like you say that they're assigned a team, does each student have like their own one-on-one time with a teacher, or is it like 5 students in a group and they all learn in a similar style? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For in Hong Kong setting, in right now, mild grade student, they will have the class ratio is 1 teachers 1 to 15. Yeah. For moderate grade class is 1 to 10. So for the student with ASD, we will have a small size group teaching or one-to-one individual teaching group, one-to-one individual teaching time. But most of the time, maybe I would say 75% of the time, they are in a whole class setting. But 25% of them, they will take out for individual setting for learning ASD program. And some will have a therapist schedule. They will have ST, speech therapy session. They will have occupational therapeutic session. And some will with the emotional treatment sessions with the social worker. So I think for them, they have different kinds of professionals to support in his learning. Yeah.
And it's better when they're like in a classroom setting because they form bonds with friends, right? And it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think school just like a small society. Yeah. Peer learning and living with people is really important. Yeah. And right now my school is quite neat. It's just in Mong Kok. the most crowded area in Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong. And it's a really special location, because when you go out, just they are all store, they are all shops, and they have streets, and traditional one and modern one is really combined in the Mong Kok area. And it's really interesting that when the teacher teach uh, uh, learning, for example, we have a Birth Street and a Fifth Street just beside our school, and then we can bring out the students to go out for to have a field trip to go there. The communities is just outside the school. Yeah, I think it's a very good chance for the student to adapt and to learn, and then it's not really a separated or isolated building. Is really is your surrounding is really a daily life. Yeah, a very real one. And so how you teach them to communicate with others, how you stick to the rules, how you, for example, you cross you cross the road, you have to mind about the traffic. Yeah, I think those are very real experience for our students.
How's it during lunchtime? Like, is it very like every student is busy like talking, or are they focused on eating food during lunch?
Right now, because of the COVID-19, right now the school only have half-day sessions in the morning session. Yeah, so for primary students, they suggest them to have half-day sessions, and then the parents will bring them home. But for the secondary students, if they already have do the three doses of vaccine, and then he can have afternoon activities. Right now, in the past 2 months, we planned it for them. We took out them to go outside activity like bowling, shoppings, go to the movie, and then go to the museum or something. It's not easy for them because they have, because for example, some have emotional disorder, and then they will start the conflict with just a minor things. But before that, I foresee this will happen, and I told the teachers that this is kind an experience for them. Plan what we go, and then set some guidelines, set some rules for them to follow. If they wanted to go out, they have to follow the rules like that. For example, no conflict, no fighting, be calm, and then you have to follow what the teachers give you to do. Okay, if you do it, if you obey the rules, and then you can go out smoothly. But if you disobey, you have to come back to school and then wait for the school end, the school time end. Interesting. There are really some students they disobey, and then they have to come back to school or cancel the activity. And I told the teachers before, I foresee that will happen, but it's good for them because they have to learn the responsibility. They have to learn how to do well in their self-discipline. They have to learn to that. Afterward, you have the results. The results that you cannot you cannot go out to do the activity. It's a really a great lesson for them to learn to be responsible and to be self-disciplined well. Yeah.
And Okay, so the last question was, how did you manage to create an accepting environment for neurodivergent students?
Mm. Um, I think I think the in my role is very important is you have to show your student and your teachers what you value. And if you if the team and if the student know that, oh, that is the value of our school, they will follow and they will they will they will follow. And they, I think some
Like, like hold them. Never mind. You go. You.
they will they will feel very important about this idea. So my I will, whatever, for example, in a formal way, for example, in morning assembly or informal way, I will show my team and the students how I value the uh, the respect the diversity. Yeah. For example, some students they have some they they have some behavior maybe is not in a well in a naughty.
Yeah.
Some, yeah, some teachers will, okay, stop or scold them or something like that. And then, but I will try to use another way to calm them down, or to show how we use our patience. For example, how be patient to tackle his problem. I think the team will will see what you do, and then they will change. For example, for respect is a kind of behavior, how you speak and how you behave. So I think the area, for example, some students, they, okay, I remember one day, this few weeks we have a morning exercise with our Chinese Chinese Kung Fu, something as is a morning exercise in our school. I see some students do not want to do, and then they do not follow. But the most of the students they follow and did it. And then I come by side and stand beside them, or that I encourage them to do. And then a student said that, Principal Tam, he did not want to do, and you don't have any you do not have any idea to make him do it. And then I said, every student in our school, we will do the morning exercise because it belongs to you. And then afterward, I I told the students, okay, if you do not do the exercise, everyone do the exercise, and then they will go to the classroom. If you do not do, the rest of teachers and will do with you afterward. And then afterward, we did it together, and then you can go back to the classroom. There's no any punishment or scolding. I just told I told him, okay, we did it together, okay, afterward, and then you can go back to the classroom. Just one time, and then the next time, the next day, he followed to do it to do, because yeah, because those morning exercises, I said that because we have two versions. One is for the primary student, and I think they are very babyish, and then we change another, we create another one for the secondary students. And I told them this morning exercise is really, I told the teachers to create it for you all, and this belongs to your secondary level students. And I hope you all enjoy, and then we will do it every day. And so I think if they understand, then they will follow what you want him to do. Because your values, everyone is important. Because they told me, the primary one is very babyish. We don't want to do, and that's why I make a secondary level one is a Chinese Kung Fu one, and that's why I said that because you voice out that you don't want to do babyish, and I understood. Okay, so we make two. One is for primary and one is for secondary. Afterward, I think he understood, and then he followed. He did it afterwards. Yeah, the next day. Yeah.
So. Cool. Do you have anything else to add that you would like to share? Or
I think I have a mission is in right. We always said special education or student with special needs. I have for the past few years when I took out the student to go out to went into the community to start their dreams something. I hope there will be one day special, this label of special will remove. We can have diversity talents.
yeah,
The term, yeah, diversity talents or talent diversity or differentiated talents to replace the term special needs, because once you put special, everyone will have some labeling event. But diversity is not only for special students. Diversity, everyone is unique, everyone is different. How we respect the difference in a proper way, I think is my, I hope it is my dream. I hope there will be someday the whole world change.
yes, I agree. Especially in a school setting, because schools are a lot about making everyone do the same thing. But when everything is like when each student has their own unique learning style, then it doesn't work like that. So.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this conference. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Emma. I really hope your master learning make you to have more development in your career.
Thank you.